Welcome. Part 1 is linked down below in the description. You can find it at the channel. We're into part 2. Full moon in Virgo. This is what we're doing right now. We're in the time of the 7 of Earth. Meditation, grounding, connection, cycles, change, interaction, purification, and stress. Key phrases. Get out into nature. Let Gaia heal you. Connection between self and the world. All is connected and has influence. Address the stress. Meditate and still your mind. Put down the tech toys. Time to physically interact and connect. And remember, we're healing from patterns of separation and addiction. And the opposite of being separate and addicted is unity and connection. The 7 of Earth symbolizes a need to both nurture and maintain a connection between spirit, self, and the world around you. Ground, integrate, and connect. And this is when we're going to meditate and still our minds and make a habit of nurturing and allowing stress to flow in and out of our life, because we're experiencing stress, but we need to let this stress go, because we don't want to be co-creating our fears. Remember, quite often we're doing a mix of both. We want to co-create our 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. And we use our fears and the negative experiences within our life in order to do so, not just the positive. Remember, we're whole. And that's what this is about. We're seeing very clearly we're whole. What we need to do, we need to put down the tech toys. We need to get off social media. This is about healing from social conditioning. We're in a radical time of healing from social conditioning and amping up the activation of the authentic self. We're healing from sickness. We're healing from disease. We're healing from not being in homeostasis. It's time to get back into homeostasis. And this has to do with, we need to be able to be the peace in the eye of the storm, and everything that's going on around us can be chaotic and falling apart, but we can be, full of love and calm and peaceful and strong, because we're being strong, and part of being strong is being weak, knowing our weaknesses. And we're embodying God here, we're truly embodying God. So we need to take a time to step away from technology, reconnect with nature, spirit, self, family, community, the world around us, ground, integrate through connection in a mindful and present manner. And we're doing that right now within the self. Okay? This has to do with what we're doing within the self. So, the self. Keywords: I am, identity, self, realization, self-manifestation, center, peace, and acceptance. So, key phrases: establish a unique and individual identity. Be free of definitions and labels. You have unlimited potential. How has your past shaped you? Identity is fluid and changing. Who you are is for you to determine, and that's a big key piece of information. We're in the time of healing from social conditioning and pack mentality. We're breaking away. This is Aquarius season. Are you trying to fit with the wrong crowd? Know who you are. Who do you wish to become? A path of loving expansion. Let go of herd mentality and think for yourself. And it's time. It's time for us to think for ourselves. It's time for us to go our way. We're carving out a lane, and it's our lane. And remember, think about carving it out. How is that going to feel? It's not going to, it's not a lane that's there before. This is our lane. And this has to do with, we need to see the way with our light, because we came here on a mission work to heal something and to come back to ourselves. And it's authentic, because think about free thinkers. Free thinkers are not always necessarily accepted, but that's the time we're in. This is that Aquarius energy, okay? Now, this activates working through the earth, okay? And I do believe this is the page. Would this be the page of earth? Or the Knight of Earth? I don't know. It's the 12. This is the 12 of Earth in this. that we're using today, Dreams of Gaia Tarot, okay? So the 12 of Earth, the Sentinel. Keywords: servant, administrator, mediator, justice, law, organized, trustworthy, loyal. Key phrases: service to a higher purpose, loyal to authority, speak for others, is your power real or borrowed? Follow the rules or directions given, use personal power wisely, question everything, blind, loyalty makes one blind. And this has to do with the full moon in Virgo. So this is about following a greater power and being loyal. Now there's much to be said within this, because who are you following? Who are you being in service to? What God are you being in service to? And this has to do with being in service to life, being in service to yourself, being in service to your community and the ones you love, and being the change you want to be in the world. Now look, there's a dog on her chest. What do we say about dogs? Like, there's so much to be said within that alone. The loyalty and the love that naturally comes from a dog. And then look, the ants coming together to work for the colony. Guys, I can feel there's an activation within here, okay? There is such an activation coming within this card. So this is about being who you are and respecting who you are. And when you do that, you draw those who are similar and who will share mutual respect for you. Other free-thinking and independent people will be on your path, okay? That's what we're doing here. So now we're looking at who we're in service to. And if we're working for a higher purpose here. Are you giving your power away to pack mentality? Or to the power bigger than you? Right? God. Are you willing to sacrifice your own identity to follow someone that doesn't deserve it or has your best interest at heart? Are you serving for the greater good or for your own good? Excuse me, guys. And like, these are questions we need to ask ourselves right now. And you can tell there's an activation in here. What's being activated? Okay, so yeah, there's Taurus. There it is. There is the Hierophant. Those 13 spheres of knowledge. We're activating with Christ consciousness here. We're activating with the seed of life. This is connected to that pomegranate and the message of the mother. So, what are we doing here? What's being activated? The Four of Wands. Yeah, and we saw the Four of Wands is right here. Our success. We go from failure to success with building with the light, with building with our light, with building with the inner child. That's why we need the inner child. We need Aries to deal with our impulses, our lower vibrational impulses, and mature on what we act on with force, with the Father. So what is it connected to? Well, look at that. Possibilities and the child. There it is. We've come full circle. We need the child because this has to do with possibilities. No, this has to do with the rest of the message, guys. It's in the living room. I want to go get it because just, guys, hang tight, hang tight. Hey guys, thanks. Sorry if you had to forward me or whatever, but we have the rest of the message here because it was in the living room. So let's just zoom on out for a second here. So this was the rest of the message I was going to share in part 3, but we're not doing that. We're following our synchronicities and signs, and we will share it now. So this has to do, okay, with the foundation of life, the Ace of Stones, because we're being gifted the Ace of Pentacles. We talked about that, okay? And so we're being gifted the foundation of life. And that has to do with the fact that we've had a completion. We know we've been talking about the inner child and having the inner child on board. in order to what? To have a change in perspective. We need this change in perspective in order to manifest this. That's part of the work that we were doing on this journey. On this journey of what? Kindred partnerships. So, we're having a change in perspective with the child and an integration, right? We're going to integrate that inner child with ourselves to become one at a deeper level. So, she who remains, powerful devotion and true worth. And right now that is connected to a conflict, okay? And this is the conflict that we're clearing up, our 5 of Swords, 5 of Wands. And that conflict is connected to being stuck here. Okay, but we're not being stuck here anymore. We are liberating ourselves from this space and place, and the devil is siphoning our energy and keeping us bonded and chained. We're liberating ourselves through what? Understanding force, understanding the Father, understanding what we're feeding into with our impulses. Lower vibrational impulses versus higher vibrational ones. And sometimes this is going without. This isn't acting off those impulses. We're healing from acting off those impulses. And we're going without in order to cultivate happiness. And it's mature. That's why we need the mother. We need Hera. We need the goddess of Cancer. Because that inner child needs to be mothered. It needs to be nurtured. It can't just go and eat all the chocolate it wants. So we need the mother. We need the mother to nurture it and say, no, you can't have that right now. You need to go without, but you always have love. So we're not going to act here. We're not going to act off this impulse. We're going to act here instead. Okay? And that's understanding the Father. That's understanding force. And that's allowing us to have a cycle of increase. Okay, and that's the time we're in. Remember, this is about our 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. So we're going to be tempted. This is the challenge. Remember, the devil's going to tempt us with something that feels good. Pleasure. But we're going to go without. We're not going to feed off this impulse because we understand how to calculate karma and break the bonds. And that is the time that we are in. And it's being activated right now through the mind's eye with how to act with the Ace. This is the Ace of Fire, the Ace of Wands. And look at this is perfect imagery within the mind's eye with the power of self, the power of consciousness, right? The change in consciousness where we literally go from victim mentality that's keeping us stuck and bound in order to see that we're not a victim, we're a co-creator, and we can find the positive within the negative and shift our situations. And what that's allowing is the activation of the loving man the loving man and the loving woman. But this is happening from within, okay? This is happening within with a resonance of true love, okay? From within. And it's connected to a cycle of new beginning with what? The inner child being nurtured and cared for. All right? And this gets into the rest of the message now. This is where we activate the 9 of Water. And this is where we heal from emotional imprinting and wounding. We heal from our traumas from the past. Why are we acting some sort of way? Because our body is still reacting from the past. So we're going to clear this up. And I feel that it's very important to share this message, okay? So let me... The 9 of Water. Illumination, acceptance, openness, emotional enlightenment, strength, courage, fear, and ignorance. Key phrases: open your heart. Past experiences leave emotional imprinting. Shine a light on the source of the emotional pain. The effect of a past experience on the present moment. The weight of our emotions, emotional enlightenment, the process of becoming lighter. Ignorance is not bliss, and break the cycle to remove the emotional hooks. So we are healing the inner child right now with this. And the things that we're carrying with us from our past. Okay? So, the very first thing to be born in the darkness of the void was the light. The Nine of Water represents a need to embrace an open heart and allow the light of love to transform and heal emotional pain and turn it into knowledge that sets us free. Our past experiences, good and bad, leave an emotional imprint. Remember, joy and love can inspire a sense of well-being. A happy memory creates the feeling within that curves the lips and makes the smile or laugh. While a bad memory can cause tears and open old wounds we thought were healed and forgotten long ago. So this is being able to ask ourselves not to avoid what needs to be done, because you will experience pain in the short term. The pain will pass for you to open up and have a better and happier future. So the Nine of Water is allowing us emotional maturity, healing from emotional triggers, having emotional awareness, reaching emotional enlightenment, accepting responsibility for our own emotional reactions. Okay? So we need to look at the source and see our truth. And this is now activating knowledge. Okay? And now we're becoming for ourselves. We're not a victim. We're not a victim. We are responsible co-creators, okay? And we're responsible for what we're doing. Now, let me find knowledge here. I think it might have been the only one I didn't pre-find in here, guys. So, sorry about that. Here we go. Knowledge, skills, understanding, training, education, practical experience. Key phrases. We exist to learn and we learn to exist. Knowledge is power. Has your past education served you? Do not limit your potential for learning. At time of new study and learning, an opportunity to learn about people and the world. Surround yourself with books and information. Does bias and unfounded prejudice close you to new knowledge? Improve upon the knowledge that you have. Where is your knowledge taking you? Does what you are learning serve a practical purpose? Create a better future by continuing your studies. So it is knowledge that enables you to treat a wound so that you can prevent infection. It is knowledge that enables you to move through your day and live your life. Without knowledge and the ability to acquire it, humanity would not be the evolved species that it is. So what we're doing here is we're moving forward from social conditioning and what others have taught us. Okay, so what others have taught you. Are you impeding your own development by blindly following what you are told to believe? Build the new. Connect to your authentic self. Remember, this is mission work. This is what we came here to do. And this knowledge we're applying right now is into the Four of Swords. And this is when we become practical. This is when we learn how to become practical with life so we can build. Because remember, we're in the time of building. We're building our 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. Structure. Four of Air. Structure, routine, order, patterns, discipline, organization, understanding, productivity. Key phrases. Order your environment, banish clutter, clean house, create structure in your day, follow a routine, keep a time budget. If you truly want something, you'll make time for it. Limit distraction and time wasters. Weed out bad habits, and that's key. Weed out bad habits and remove negative influences. And this is it. This is just being real with how we're building here. You want it? How bad do you want it? You're going to sit there and complain on the couch for the rest of your life and feel sorry for yourself and be a victim? Or you're going to be a powerful co-creator that you are, your authentic self, get off that couch and make it happen. And it doesn't mean quite often we're extremists. We don't have to go full force into everything too. Or just doing nothing at all. This is about finding the balance of doing it all. And yes, that's mind-blowing. I think, oh, I'm doing it all and I'm the balance, the center point. But yes, this is what we came here to do, and we can do this. This is natural, actually, to us. This has been taken away from us. We're not shutting down. We're opening up. Okay? And this has to do with our routine. The Four of Air symbolizes the importance of ordering your environment and giving your day structure, especially if you have specific goals and projects you wish to perform and complete. And this isn't just doing it in our head. Like, we're not just doing these things in our head and then we go to do it and it feels yucky or gross or hard or uncomfortable and we don't do it, and then we just go back to being addicted and patterns of separation, because we still want to feel some sort of way. We want to feel this way, but we need to do the work. Remember, what's easy does not sustain. We're going to do the work because it's going to sustain. There's the transformation. This is being real with ourselves. This is being real. Okay? By establishing order in our environment, we also add that sense of security. When everything has a place, we can be confident that it'll be there when we need it. We don't have to waste hours. A cluttered and chaotic environment is not helping with our mind. So the Four of Air suggests establishing order in your life, a pattern of regular cleaning. So this just means we're going to elevate our patterns and be real with, we're in a time of how does it really look like in reality to manifest it, because it's not the same in fantasy than it is in reality, but we're still using fantasy to co-create. We're whole. It's part of everything. So the Four of Air addresses habits, bad distractions, and negative influences. Protect yourself from others that don't support your goals. Friends and family need to respect our boundaries and work ethic here, okay? And we need to be in charge of it. They're not going to phone up grandma and our brother and tell them to fuck off. No, we set a boundary. We're in charge. We're holding space with love. It's not like you have to be perfect for me so I can be happy. No, I am the master of my own ship within. And I'm getting it with the grace of God. Now, the next card, wait, guys. Okay, so in here, now we're working with the Queen of Air. And of course, we need to access the Queen of Air. So we're working with the Four of Swords and we're in Aquarius season. The Queen of Air, weaver, observant, wise, truthful, analytical, strategist, just, and detachment. Key phrases: time to be realistic, be observant, plan, organize, and determine your course of action, a need for emotional detachment, be decisive and precise, choose your words with care, stick to the facts, choose your words with care, stick to the facts, don't allow your intellect to alienate, and that's a big key piece of information. So we know she can be cold and distant, but she's a critical thinker. She's rising above her emotions. She's looking at reality. She sees the dark and the light, and she sees the reality. Okay? She's not an optimist or a pessimist. She's a realist, and she doesn't allow emotions to cloud her judgment. She thinks with her head, okay? But the message is to do that. But the Queen of Air asks us not to put our intellect above our emotions and to have empathy for people even if they don't feel the same way. And right now this has to do with ourselves because we're going through one heck of a transformation. Okay? One heck of a transformation. So first and foremost is we're doing this with ourselves. Okay? Oops, sorry guys, sorry. Now this is now activating the King and Queen of Earth. And we are activating, believe it or not, with the King first before the Queen. So let's find out as to why. So the King of Earth is successful, industrious, devoted, steadfast, authoritative, reliable, and dedicated. Key phrases: taking pride in accomplishments, pay it forward, honor your process, now is the time to make changes, life is meant to be enjoyed, free yourself from control, don't be lazy, abuse, and misuse of power. Remember, this is our full moon in Virgo. The King of Earth is a very satisfied man, and he has every reason to be. Everything he touches turns to gold. His kingdom is secure and wealthy, and people are happy and prosperous. He's a natural leader, and it's because of his hard work and dedication. Now, he's realistic and enjoys abundance because he's wise and careful. He's not afraid to be candid and open. He has no insecurities or emotional baggage to feed his doubts and fears. He's only willing to share in his successes. He gives advice and guidance without hesitation. He does not fear that doing so will give rise to a competitor. He believes that everyone is entitled to the same opportunities. He's reliable and he's intelligent. But we need to remember when we see the King of Earth to free ourselves from controlling relationships and get our power back. This has to do with equity through equality. Equality through equity. Let go, lighten up, don't be a hypocrite. Your shit stinks too. Caution against egocentric behavior and allow those around you to shine too. And this is like the King of Earth. He can get they can get caught up in the fact that they can do everything, but when someone else does it, it's not it. And it's being mindful not to be a hypocrite. Now, activating with the Queen of Earth, okay? So we have the King and Queen of Earth for our full moon in Virgo. Earth Mother, pragmatic, real, kind, nurturing, abundant, fertile mind and wise. And there it is. We've become a nurturer, what we need to be. Key phrases: touch, connect, and create with your hands. Be supportive and nurturing. Seek out a motherly role model. A need for wise and honest counsel. Kindness is required. You are loved and supported. Mother, do not smother. Share the responsibilities. So, this card is here today to remind us not to just hide away in our home. Okay? And not to either smother the people around us. So, it's the card of both. We don't just want to hide away and be in solitude and find our home as our safe space. But in the next breath too, we don't want to smother those around us and just give them constant attention and care. This is about restoring balance. And we need to care for ourselves right now. We're not going to get distracted for caring for others. We need to care for ourselves. We need to care for that inner child right now. So we need to share responsibilities and don't do everything for everyone else. Like, there's a message to do something for self right now. Okay? And then this is activating the Ace of Fire. Remember, this is all about the Ace of Fire. This is all about healing with the Father. This is connecting us to our abundance right now, okay? So the Ace of Fire, new beginnings, action, conception, invention, creation, creativity, procrastination. Key phrases: new beginnings, opportunities, actively pursue your goals. And that's the time we're in. We're building. Remember, we're building. Not just in our head, we're acting it out. Take advantage of what's being offered. Move beyond research and planning. Remember, it looks different in our head than it within us than it does without us, and actually building it. Weave your future into being. Take something old and make it better. Break with tradition and offer something new. Uncertainty inspires procrastination. So we are taking something old and making it better. That's love, and our connection to love, and our connection to connection. So, of connection. So this is a promise of new beginnings and opportunities, representing action. It represents the power for and the necessity of taking the initiative and actively pursuing our goals, taking advantage of our opportunities. Okay? So we need to make plans and act on it and take our steps, which is what we're doing. And that is connected to a time to accomplish our goals. What do you really wish to manifest, and how can you act to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish? And that is our abundance. Keywords: abundance, consciousness, giving, receiving, energy, love, appreciation. Abundance is a state of plenty. Abundance is a feeling. Abundance surrounds you. Have faith and conviction. Complete trust is required. Your rainy day is today. Determine your goals and reasons and set intentions. A state of contentment, not influenced by external factors. Relax and enjoy yourself. Generosity ripples outwards. The more you give, the more you receive. Appreciate and be grateful. What is abundance? Abundance is defined as a state of plenty, signifying a feeling of abundance, appreciation. It opens you up to what surrounds you, and in turn gives you a feeling that rise to an abundance consciousness. A person with abundance consciousness is always hopeful, seeks fair and equal exchange of energy, and sees potential and opportunity in all experiences. And that's true. Potential and opportunity in all experiences, and we're always whole, and there's always positive within the negative and negative within the positive. And this is being in the energy of what we're creating. We are already whole. We're not in lack of. Remember, we're not a victim. We're an optimist. Okay? Do you have a lack of attitude? Material possessions will not fill the void. Appreciate all that comes to you. Be grateful for everything and don't complain about things not being enough. Give thanks to the bounty in your life every day. And this is about being in a state of receivership. We are in a state of receivership, okay? And what this is activating, remember, is judgment. We're having a transition. Okay, we've become the positive and the negative. Look at that positive. We're acting with the Father. There's the positive tetrahedron of fire. So we're acting with force. We've healed our relationship with the Father with force to a whole new level. So we're transitioning. And this is the activation of the hero with fire, with the Father, between the masculine and feminine, okay? And that's what's happening right now with this full moon, in Virgo. We are expanding with the Father, with the Son of Life. But remember, it's through a struggle. We've had a struggle. And we're clearing up conflict within the mind of how to act. But in order to do so, we're having a morning of seeing through an illusion where we've been delusional with ourselves. Where we haven't been honest with ourselves. We haven't been authentic. But that's reconnecting us to the waters of life. So we're having a morning and clearing up what's gone stagnant within the waters, the energy in motion. And we're clearing it up. And look, there's a connection to the new moon in Aquarius and our next new moon. And we're having a new spark of life. We're having a new beginning with the spark of life. The Ace of Bows, with how to act with the Father. And that's connected to our integrity. Okay? How to act with the Father, with the King of Fire. Our emotional intellect, which we are expanding as we heal from our childhood traumas and our traumas and emotional imprinting and wounding, so we can be authentic and co-create a whole new higher vibe life and go from another version of our old self to our new self, our best self, through the Two of Pentacles where balance is restored, through the earth as we heal through the mind's eye with our fears. Now something's activated here, remember, and it's connected to what we're seeing within the dark as we expand with the Hierophant here. So what is being activated? Oh, look at that. Look what card just flew out. Generosity, our connection to Taurus and the new moon. The moon. Where we go from selfishness to being generous. Okay? What's being activated here? Well, we've restored motion. Oh, now we have the Queen of Wands. So we have the King and Queen of Wands. We have counterparts, okay? Where we heal from frenzied energy and we become passionate. We use our passions to motivate us. Our desires motivate us. We co-create with our desires. So what have we done here? We've restored motion because why? We release to embrace with the all. We've connected to everything here. Here is the all. The good, the bad, the dark, the light, the yin, the yang, and everything in between. So we need to release in order to embrace. And what are we doing? We're restoring motion as we heal from tension. And here is Metatron's cube. This is the 13 spheres of knowledge. Okay? Moving us forward. We've made the proper patterns here. Okay? We've done it. And that's connected to what? We found the way. So we're trusting and praying we found the way. Because why? We are in a time of reunification. We heal from abandonment. We've been healing from abandonment in order to have a reunification with life, light, God, ourselves. And what's happening on the path of the moon? There it is. We're going from healing from patterns of narcissism, addiction, selfishness, in order to feel generous. That's what we're being gifted. Okay, look. And there it is, from the 6 to the 7 of Pentacles. And now we've come full circle to starting off when we first got here. We're going, right? Confirmation right there from the universe, okay? It's about growth. Where are we shifting to? Guys, you know what? We're going to head on over to our third part. We're just going to see where we're shifting to. I'll see you there. It'll be linked down below, or you can find it at the channel.